guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 of the Space Firebird. I want to get the bodywork finished up and get this in primer today. It's freezing out again. It was -7 this morning. Wind chill was like -20 with the wind chill. So it's literally like feels like -10 right now. Something like that, I think the weather said. It's actually, my shop is getting hard to keep warm. I painted parts this morning. That heater in the spray booth kicked ass, stayed at 80 degrees the whole time, so that worked out well. So I want to get this metal peeled off. I want to sand this couple spots, put some Bondo on the rest of the cabinet, and then while that's setting up, I want to get these off. And I went in the house and grabbed some leg levelers, so I want to put those on. And then once I get this side done, we're going to roll it on its back. I'm going to do the front, and then we're going to stand it up so that I can get the rest of the back done, and the top. The top, I'll show it to you. It's pretty rough, not a big deal. So just sand it down and put on a layer of Bondo. It's not warped or anything. It's just flaking, and that's due to moisture. Same thing back here. Same thing with this crap. I wonder, you know what I'm going to do is I might just sand that down now. When I sand these spots, I'll sand this, and then we'll just throw some Bondo on this and all around this area. So let me get set up here. Let's pop off this metal. It's been on there since last night. I would imagine it should pop off pretty easily. I don't know, it might be stuck. We'll find out. Yep, peel right off. So I'm going to save this. You can always sand that off of there because this is reusable. We can keep reusing it to fix cabinet corners, which is nice. Just keep sanding off any filler that sticks to it. But this is a nice, good repair now. Now, I would not recommend straight Bondo for these corners. It's going to bust off. You got to use something with some sort of strength to it. This has short strands of fiberglass ground up into the filler, so that helps hold it together. But if you got a corner like my other side, I would 100% use the fiberglass resin method or cut the piece of wood out, because if you don't do it that way, it's really literally, you can be moving these around and just bust a whole corner right off of it that you just spent a bunch of time forming with, you know, Bondo. So, all right, let me get the sander plugged in, and we're going to knock those 2 spots down along the back there, and then we're going to mix up some Bondo, put it on those spots, pop these wheels off, put the leg levelers on, and I don't know how long the filler is going to take to dry. Hopefully not too long, because it's kind of cold in here. I mean, I have the furnace set at 75. It's not really getting above 72 in here, and there's just such a draft coming in that it's not really staying very warm in here. But I might actually, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But all right, let me get the sander hooked up here. Okay, I got the back coated. I did bevel this back edge so that it wouldn't drag on the ground anymore and cause future damage, and I coated the whole top. Now I'm gonna get the critics that are gonna say, why would you waste your time filling the whole top in the back? Nobody's ever gonna see it. Okay, I'm filling it because I am trying to preserve the wood. It's dried out and it's flaking, so I'm putting a coat of Bondo on it to secure it all back together. That's why I'm doing it. Not necessarily doing it to make it look awesome. Is it going to look good? Yes, but that's not the main reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I am trying to preserve the wood so it will last another 30 years or whatever. If you don't do that, it's just going to keep collecting moisture and getting worse and worse over time. Shut the door to the back room so it's a little bit warmer in here now. My compressor room is off of my back room, and it has ventilation to outside so that in the summertime the heat gets out of the room. So it's so cold that there's really not much I can do about it right now. So I'll probably just let this filler dry for like an hour or so, and then it should be ready to sand at that point. I mean, it is what it is. We'll get it done. The good thing is I got this filled, the back and the top. So once all that's done, I just got to do the front of it. And at that point, we can get it ready for primer. I'm gonna need a wrench. The wood's a little bit tight around the threads. Do I have a wrench out here? Probably not. Probably a 1/2 inch, and I only have 9/16. Ooh, I got lucky. Would you look at that? Question is are these threads the same as what's in the cabinet? That I don't know. I'm starting to think it's not. Can't tell. I think the threads on the original one inside are a little bit smaller. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't tell. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to bring out those metal things and screw them on the bottom of the cabinet. It's not the end of the world. For some reason, there's an extra set of holes drilled in the cabinet, and that I don't know why. Okay, I'll just have to bring out the other ones with me. So I'm going to take a break, wait for this stuff to dry. It's still real sticky. And then we'll get this sanded down, get it flipped over, and kind of keep working at it. All right, I'm going to start sanding this down with 8 grit and then 150 grit. All right, I'm gonna put these leg levelers on while I'm waiting for this filler to dry the rest of the way. It's slowly getting there. Might have to drill the hole bigger. I need the wrench. We're almost ready to stand this back up. I should grab a drill bit and drill that a little bit bigger. Now these inserts you can buy at Lowe's. It has 3 holes in them. They sell them in the hardware section. In the drawers. Once we get this stood up, we don't have too much more to do then. A little bit more work to do on the back and a little bit on the front. Piece of Bondo stuck on the bottom, I gotta get off. There we go. It's almost dry, still a little sticky. right. I'll be back once that filler sets up a little bit more. While I'm waiting for this filler to dry, I'm looking over here at these space dual sides, okay? And obviously Atari made it. If anybody has a space dual and a dig dug, let me know, or a kangaroo, let me know what the difference is other than the front lower panel has dual speakers on it. And let me know if like the monitor area and all that stuff is the same. I'm gonna go to Arcade Jason's and take some measurements, but I'm almost curious. I gotta go there anyways because I gotta drop the TV off, but I need to measure the front panel so I know where the speakers go and stuff like that. But I'm curious to know is if the monitor area is the same, because the marquee area is the same with the speakers in it, pretty much. I have that in the house, and that looks about the same as like a Centipede dig dug or a kangaroo. Those all look to be the same Arabian, same marquee light and speaker housing thing. Obviously, Space Duel has two 6x9s up front, or on top and on the bottom, and I believe the other games just have one in the center. So if anybody can answer that, I'm just curious because I could take measurements at his house, and then I have that cabinet in the back that's going to be an Arabian. I could take that plywood insert out of there and trace that to make my monitor mount. So I'm really curious to know about that. So if you guys wouldn't mind, let me know. But I should be back here in a few minutes. We're going to get this sanded down. Okay, I sanded down those last parts off camera. I taped off the back badge. There's still a little bit of chipping on some of the edges here, but I want to get primer on it because I think the primer is going to stop that from happening. So I'm waiting for the primer to mix up, and then we are going to go ahead and put some coats of primer on here. We're really going to concentrate on heavy primering on the top and the back, and the sides and the top front don't need a ton. They're going to be covered in that thick vinyl, but we're still going to put it on there. Just probably 2 coats on the front and sides, because I think it's a waste at that point to put more than that, because we're just going to be covering it, like I said, with that thick vinyl. So this is a 2K urethane primer. The part number from Summit Racing is SUM-UP220G, stands for gallon. They also sell the SUM-UP220Q for a quart. If you want to buy it by the quart. Now the satin black that I've been using on all these cabinets, I just had to order another gallon of it. This stupid shit went up $50 a gallon. I was paying like $70 a gallon, and now it's like $112. So that sucks, but what am I gonna do? Everything's going up in price. So I'm gonna get this mixed up. It's a 4-to-1 mix, 4 parts primer, 1 part hardener, and we're gonna add 20% reducer just to thin it out a little bit so it sprays. This is a brand new gallon, so I gotta let it mix for 15 minutes. So once this gets mixed up and in the gun, we're gonna go out there and start putting on some primer. Okay, I only put 2 coats on it because tomorrow night I want to sand it down, fix any last little spots, and then put 2 more coats of primer on. There's a couple areas around the perimeter you saw me really hosing it on. I actually ran it a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get the particle board, the rough particle board edges to fill in. So you can see right here, it got a little thick on me. It didn't really run, but I'm just trying to fill in that edge. You see how we got a little bit of imperfections there? And that's my main goal, is to really seal up this particle board. I could have kept doing more and more body work to it, but to be honest with you, I think it needs this. I think it needs to have a heavy build of primer on this edge that I can sand down, and it's kind of locking it all together. So tomorrow night I'm gonna sand this thing back down and do 2 more coats of primer, and then at that point it should be ready for paint. So I want to get it painted this weekend so I can get it in the basement. I got to do other stuff in the shop this weekend, so maybe we'll be working on the Kickman harness. I need to get a monitor fixed for that Kicks cabinet that's going to be leaving. I did find one in a vertical frame. It's a 4600. It's got a little bit of screen burn, but 4600 is a good monitor. So I plugged it in, nothing happened. So I'm guessing the hot's probably blown on it. I don't know. I haven't really done much investigating with it. I just got it down and plugged it in real quick just to see if it had any light. So I'm probably going to be screwing with that. Like I said, I want to start getting that Kickman harness done so I can get my Tron back together, get the harness back in that. Still waiting on the harness for Journey. Still waiting on the artwork for Journey. I don't know, it's been months. And I had the tape player and the 1 minute endless loop tape. I actually have 2 of the tapes because I need to make one for somebody else. But the tape deck I bought is from that era, from the early 80s, and it is an Emerson, but I didn't get the slim line. It's a little bit fatter, which is not a big deal. I'm just gonna make my bracket a little bit taller to comment, you know, so it fits that tape deck. So I'm not too worried about it. But other than that, I mean, it's really about it. I guess I can make the tape deck holder and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna make a video on that. I already have 2 videos on that. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, you can just go back and watch one of the 2 videos that I did. It has all the measurements and everything on it, so if anybody needs to make one. But other than that, that's going to end this video. This is part 3. We have the cabinet in one piece. As far as the bodywork and everything, it's in primer. It's going to dry overnight. Tomorrow afternoon, sand it down, touch up some more spots, and then put 2 more coats of primer. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. Just let you know when new videos come out. If you're new to the channel, there's over 500 videos on my channel. So there's tons and tons of stuff to watch. I hit 9,101 today. So I need 899 to meet my goal of 10,000 subscribers. So we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.